YouTube? ThriftSchool over here, and as you can tell, I am not in my normal location. I am downstairs at my girlfriend's house, and I went to upload a ride-along style video to YouTube today, and all I have here is my laptop, and it's not working very well. So that ride-along video where I hit up Goodwill and I show you guys some cool stuff I picked up, that is coming tomorrow. But for now, I still wanted to get a video up, and so I decided I'd do a live Q&A right here. Now it's live streaming through my phone, so the quality is not going to be the best, but my video tomorrow will be great. It was shot on this camera. A lot of people ask me, let's just shoot the question answers off right now, but this is the camera I use for all of my videos. This is the Canon G7X, and it is a great camera. The only bad thing to this camera is the battery life. The battery life is pretty bad, so I highly recommend buying 2 batteries. I had 2 batteries, I lost one, so I'm stuck with 1 battery on this guy for now. So that's kind of a shame, but for now, you know, it works fine for what I need it to. So I'm opening up the floor to whoever pops in here live to ask me whatever questions you want. I'll be able to see them right here on my screen, so be sure to comment in your questions if you need anything answered. And in the meantime, I will just start answering some questions that I have had in the past. So off the top of my head, because I don't have any written down because I just go off the cusp. Alright, so let me think of a question. So, okay, people always ask me if I'm still doing Amazon, if I'm still doing eBay, if I'm still doing merch by Amazon, and I've actually had a couple people in a few videos ask if I'm still doing Kindle publishing, which was kind of like getting ghostwriters to write books and you make money like that online. I'm actually not doing that at all anymore. My royalties that come in are so small, so that is pretty much nothing. That's non-existent. Merch by Amazon, I'm still doing. They've throttled a lot of people. I know some people try to get into this program. Merch by Amazon is pretty much a t-shirt on demand program where you create the design in Photoshop or whatever editing software you have, and Amazon will print it onto a shirt and ship it to the customer once it sells. It is a zero upfront cost, which is why I love the platform. And yes, I use it, but they've throttled me down to 2 shirt designs a day. So I actually haven't uploaded anything in about a week. I don't know. I just haven't. 2 designs a day. It's still something. I just haven't done it. I do have about 85 shirts live. Now I've uploaded hundreds and hundreds, but if they don't sell after, I believe it's 60 days, they end up taking down the shirts. So I'm left with whatever sold. So I'm at about 80 something live shirts. Now, eBay, yes, I still do eBay. You guys all know that. I do sell on eBay. I sell on Amazon, of course. People ask, what comes first? Like, do you make the most of your money on Amazon? Do you make the most of your money on eBay? Which is better? Yada, 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 right? So for me, I get the most of my money off of Amazon. I don't think there has ever been a time in my reselling career where I've made more money on eBay. Now, I know a lot of people, especially a lot of people that watch me, actually kind of write Amazon off. A few people that I actually go out thrifting with, they don't do Amazon FBA specifically. They don't really like it. I don't really know 100%. I always try and tell everybody I highly recommend Amazon FBA. It is the easiest way, the quickest way, and if I did not do Amazon FBA, I would not make anywhere near as much money as I do. Not saying that I make a lot of money, but I make enough to sustain myself. I make enough to, you know, live a actually very comfortable life, so that's nice. Now, with my ride-along videos, I know a lot of you guys like to watch the ride-alongs. Those are, you know, my most viewed type of videos when I go into Goodwills and Savers and Red, White, and Blue and Salvation Army. I don't really have a lot of Salvation Armies over here, so I don't go into them often, but I do find them. And also pawn shops and stuff like that. And I definitely want to continue to make those kind of videos. And I did ask in one of my previous videos what kind of videos you guys wanted to see, whether it be, you know, more ride-alongs, whether it be question and answers, live videos, whether it be informational how-tos. And the majority of people did say ride-alongs. I got a few people saying how-tos, you know, but we got Rob in the house saying, what's up? What is up to you? I know this is a little impromptu at 9:15 at night, but I figured some people would definitely come in. All right, so let me just try and think of a few more questions off the top of my head. We'll try to make this, 15 to 30 minutes or so. Let's see. All right, so I've been selling big electronics lately. I've been getting into it. I know Craigslist Hunter does it. I know a bunch of people sell big vintage electronics, things like that. And a lot of people sell them on eBay. A lot of people sell them on Amazon. And I sell the majority of mine over on Amazon, and I kind of do a 50-50 split between merchant fulfilled, which is me shipping it out, and FBA, so fulfilled by Amazon. So I kind of do a 50-50 split when it comes to that. Now, the reason why I do that is if something has a higher rank, I don't want it sitting in the warehouse and taking up space, and I end up getting charged a long-term storage fee. That is not what I want. That pretty much means that Amazon will charge me, a few dollars every few months. So if I have a lot of those in there, that few dollars will turn into hundreds. So I've been kind of messing around with doing both. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do it that way. I like sending everything off to Amazon FBA. Shipping is cheaper. They deal with the customers. But in turn, I find that returns are a lot more frequent through FBA because it's so easy to return something to Amazon. Returning something to a seller is a little bit more difficult. If somebody just says, I don't know if I want this, they'll think twice about it, and odds are they'll end up keeping it. In my situation, that's what I've noticed. So I sell my big electronics over on Amazon. I try to do solely FBA. Now, I did just sell a VCR on eBay, and this is one of the main reasons, and I'm going to explain this, why I enjoy FBA when it comes to these big electronics, because this big electronic can cost a lot to ship. Let's say it's going, I live in Connecticut, let's say it's going from Connecticut to California. That can cost me almost $20 to ship. Now, I highly recommend not only shipping through the USPS, take a look at the FedEx rates because they tend to be a little bit cheaper. So, the one I just sold, I sold for $49.99 shipped. Now, I don't remember if I had to buy the remote for it or if it came with the remote, but I paid $5, and if I had to buy the remote, I paid about $20. Now, I sold it for $50, which is, that's, either a $45 profit or a, $25 or whatever profit. So, shipping cost me just over $13 to ship this VCR. So, it doesn't seem like a lot. It's not a lot, but when I ship into Amazon FBA, a VCR, if I'm shipping, let's say, 3 of them off to Amazon, they're all going in the same box, my fulfillment center is so close to me, it can cost me maybe $2 to $3 per VCR to ship. So think about that, and also think about returns. So if somebody returns it because they didn't like it, or if somebody just wants to do a return, I don't have to pay for that return shipping and the shipping back out. Think about how impossible it'd be to make money on a big electronic. I'm not just saying VCRs. I mean, there's DVD players and Blu-ray players and all those things. Let's say it costs you $13 to ship. Now they want to return it, and they'll just make something bogus up, like it doesn't work. They can do that. That's what the buyer can do, and I've had it happen. So now it costs $13, plus to ship it back to you is another $13. So you're in the whole $26. Now you want to sell it again, so that's another $13, right? So now you're in the whole $39 plus your buy cost, over $40. You wouldn't make any money if you had one return on a big electronic. I know a lot of people say, oh, charge return shipping, charge a restocking fee, but if the person says it doesn't work as intended, item not as described, you have to, you kind of have to take it back. There's not much you can do. If it really doesn't work, you're out of luck. So I was getting a few comments in here. Let's see, we got Golden State Flip Flop in the house, what is up? And we have Brit Styles in the house saying, how did I like thrifting in Houston? So thrifting in Houston was very not great compared to Connecticut, but pawn shops in Houston are where the money is at, guys. If you live down in Houston, I highly recommend hitting up the pawn shops. The prices there are ridiculous. You can do so good. And not just video games. I'm talking electronics, tablets, headphones, GPSs. I bought a smartwatch for, what was it, $125 and sold it for $350 right when I got back, a Samsung Gear S. I mean, you can easily make some good money there, and not even counting all the video games that I bought there and all the little miscellaneous electronics I bought there. I love the pawn shops there. You bundle them up, you get a good price, and I really enjoyed the pawn shops there. Now, prices are obviously going to be higher around Christmas. I went in July, so think about prices are probably at an all-time low in July on Amazon. Maybe in August and September they're even a little bit lower, but if you go to pawn shops there around, let's say, September, October, November, you're going to start to see prices online going up, but their prices will stay the same. So you start buying, you have more opportunities to buy there. So I had to pass up on a lot of video games because the price, I'd only make $1 or $2. But now with Christmas, I mean, it's already passed, but prices are still pretty high right now in January because of everybody ran out of stock. So when the price is getting up so high, that $1 and $2 profit video game turns into a $5 and $6 profit video game. So if it only costs $5 in the beginning, you're doubling your money. Awesome. So I highly recommend checking out the pawn shops down there. Let's see what other questions I got coming in. Rob F said he just refunds and eat it big on electronics. Yeah, so a lot of people do that, and obviously that's kind of what you have to do, and you will eat big on electronics. It's definitely a shame when you get a return. I've gotten returns. I get those 300 CD count Sony players. It holds 300 CDs, and I sell them for $300 each. They usually cost me almost $50 each, and I've gotten returns twice on them. So I figured out quick enough how expensive that can be. They're very hard to ship. They could get damaged extremely easily. I double boxed them, and they still came back broken. Now, the buyer might have, swapped out the systems or something. It's possible. But for it to happen twice, I feel like it has to do with shipping. The tray on the inside can pop loose. It's just, it's not the best. Okay, so let's see. AG asks, what do I think of private label? I think private label is amazing. I really, really, really want to get into private label. I'm trying to figure out what kind of product I can use for private label, what kind of product I can find. That is where it gets a little tricky. I know people are saying, go for the higher priced items. I do see some people say, oh, go for the $20 items, go for, making this much profit. But I mean, I just watched Raking Profits video. He had Andy Slammons and this other guy, I can't remember his name on, and they were saying they actually sell more expensive items, $100 items, $150 items. I don't know if I have the space for that or the capital right now for that, so I'd have to start off with the cheaper items. I already have one item in mind that used to be pretty good on Amazon. It looks like a lot of people came into the market. The only way I could probably make my product stand out is photoshopping an image a little bit nicer than what they have. That's really the only thing I could think of because the images are all pretty much the same. You could tell they get them all from Alibaba. I found the exact item on Alibaba for 50 cents, and they're selling it for about $8. So it doesn't sound great, but that's $8 a piece. You could lot it up into 4 and sell it for $20, and that's what I've been noticing people doing. So not 100% sure what I want to do there. All right, let's see what we got here. We got a bunch of people asking questions. AG asks, oh no, we already answered that, sorry. Here we go. Denia72 asks, what's my favorite item to sell? My favorite items to sell, probably video games. I like finding them. I like picking them up. I like selling them because I know what they're worth pretty much right away. I can just look on the shelf. I don't have to look it up all the time. I still look it up a lot of times, but I don't have to. So I really do like selling those. I enjoy selling, just new in-box items. They're just easy, and whenever I see a brand new in-box item at a thrift store, I start to get excited, I'm like, oh man, this is definitely going to be worth some money. I'm stoked, and I scan it, and this item that they have for $2.99 is worth $50. I'm like, yeah, it just makes me happy. New in-box items and video games, I guess it's pretty basic, but that's just what I like to sell. Some people like to sell clothing. Sometimes I like to sell clothing. I like to buy clothing to resell, but I hate photoing it. I hate listing it. Packing it's pretty easy, but I hate storing it. It takes forever to sell usually. So clothing I'm very iffy with. All right, let's see what else we got. Aaron Stewart says, sup dude, thanks for helping me pay my bills this month. Smiley face. That's awesome, dude. I love to hear that. I mean, if I could give any more tips there was a tip in my thrifting video yesterday that's going to be coming out that I highly recommend checking out. It's going to help you make some money for real, and that video will be coming out tomorrow. I don't have my main computer here with me, so I will, once I get to my house, I'm going to pop in the SD card from my camera, edit it up, throw it up, so you guys can have a helpful video, of course. Random Weirdness says, do I feel Amazon FBA is worth it versus merchant fulfilled with a professional seller account? That's exactly what I have. Hear from other people online complain about the fees that are charged from FBA. So this is how I look at it, Random Weirdness, and a lot of people talk about the fees. So let's say you have a, this camera right here, right? It's going to ship over £1. So, especially with the box and all the packing, it's going to ship for over £1. So, you'd probably ship it priority mail bubble mailer, right? Because if you wrap this up, you could stick it right into the bubble mailer and even put another bubble mailer over it so it's safe. So, it's going to cost you $6.30 to ship. Now, on Amazon, let's just say you're selling it for $100. The fees, let's say, are, I don't know, $15 FBA. So now, or even let's just even say $20 FBA. So you're down now to $80 profit. Let's say you got it for free. So Amazon's fees are going to be a big chunk. You sell it for $100, they're taking out about 20%, right? That seems like a lot. That's more than eBay. That's more than merchant fulfilled. But now think, if you're doing a big shipment off to Amazon, you're shipping 30 items in, each item can cost as low as 20 cents, even lower sometimes, to ship. So the shipping on this is almost non-existent. If you get a return, Amazon will pay the return cost. So as a merchant, yeah, the fees might be a little bit lower, but think about it. Let's say the fees now are, instead of $20, they're $15 or even $10. You still have to pay that $6.30 to ship it. So the fees might be $10, but you're still paying $6.30 to ship. So now the fees are technically $16.30. Okay? And then let's say you get a return, you have to pay that return shipping. So now you're at what, 24 or whatever it is. That's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, $22. Jeez, guys, my math is not good. You'd be at $22. So that's kind of how I look at it. The fees might seem higher up front. For some items, it's definitely not worth it to do FBA. Some items, people, when they created the listing, they screwed up on the dimensions. So you'll be scanning a bunch of video games, right? Say you find a bunch of $8 video games. You're going to make about $2 to $3 profit on Amazon FBA when it comes to an $8 video game. And then let's say you scan an $8 video game and it says negative $2. That means that the person that created that listing screwed up on the dimensions and Amazon thinks it's bigger and heavier than it really is. So they're charging you an insane fee to hold it. So in that case, that's when you would sell it on eBay. That's when you would sell it as a merchant. But otherwise, you know, those are really the only cases. There are a few other little cases where I'd recommend doing merchant fulfilled, you know, for really cheap priced items that are going to take a long time to sell so you don't accumulate the fees. But I love doing Amazon FBA. Hopefully that kind of helps sway you a little bit so you kind of understand where I'm coming from with it. All right, let's take a look at these comments. Okay, we got a bunch. Okay, Dan O says, hey Jesse, great to catch you live. How do I stay motivated to list on eBay? Do I have a listing routine? It's very tough to stay motivated to list on eBay. I've actually fallen behind a lot. My main reason for falling behind with listing on eBay is I bought that new computer that was in my vlog a little while ago, and that computer took up my entire listing table, and I don't have a spot to put it yet. So I have not listed anything besides like little DVDs and stuff on eBay because they go off to the corner. I have not been able to list any pieces of clothing, any big items, or anything like that on eBay because of that. So it's kind of thrown me off, and I haven't listed in so long. I've gotten very used to not listing. Normally my routine, I would just grab stuff, throw it on this table, so it covered my table. And it's like, okay, well, I can't get any more work done until I list this stuff. I just kind of throw myself into it. And that always worked for me. Kind of like make it harder for you to do another aspect of your life until you get your listing done. That worked for me, and I know it's different for everybody. I know some people just say, oh, I have a goal to list 10 items right when I get up and this and that. No, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to unplug my whatever, throw it outside, and I can't grab it until I list this stuff. My life's harder, so I don't know. That's just like how I do things. It's totally different for everybody, but I really do need to get to listing on eBay a lot more. True Web Deals asks, is it easy to manage collecting and paying sales tax on Amazon? I do it on eBay and it's been pretty easy. Now, I'm sure it's easy, True Web Deals, except I don't do it. I actually don't collect sales tax on Amazon. That's something I need to do this year. One of the reasons why I haven't done it is, first of all, I just haven't gotten into it, but when you price your items on as a merchant fulfilled, or on FBA, I do notice that when you're comparing against Amazon, it will tell you, you know, your price plus shipping, and then you, even if their sales tax is there and you price lower than their total, you're still showing up above them on the listings, if you know what I mean, or below them technically. So you have to actually sit there and do all the math. I'd rather just pay all the sales tax at the end of the year. It's probably a lot easier if I just did it this way. But so let's say they have an item for $10. Their sales tax is, you know, $1. So they're at $11. I see that and I'm like, okay, I'll price mine at $10.99. So I'm a penny lower than Amazon. Somebody will buy mine. Well, I'm not showing up below Amazon. I'm actually showing up above Amazon because technically my $10.99 price is higher than their $10 price. You know what I mean? So that is, you know, it's tricky. It's definitely tricky. Let's see what we have here. AG asks, how do I scan fast? I do have one of those Bluetooth scanners where you go beep, 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 beep. I don't know where it is, though. I lost it. So I just scan on my phone. I just use the Amazon Seller app. I kind of know what I'm looking for. So when I'm scanning things, I kind of pick and choose. I don't go through books. I'm not a bookseller per se. So I don't really have to deal with the whole, pull out a book, scan, wait for it to load. So I'm not the best help there, but, that's kind of how I do it. Golden State Flip Flop asks if he thinks I will ever move out of Connecticut. Yeah, dude, I hope so, to be honest. I'd like to move out of Connecticut. There's a lot of places I'd like to live. I mean, I loved Colorado. Don't know if I'd ever live there. I liked Texas. I don't know if I'd ever live there. It's like whenever I think of somewhere else I'd like to live, I just always come back to, well, Connecticut, everything is close. You're close to Boston, you're close to New York City, you're on the ocean. There's a lot of thrifting opportunities here. There's a lot of, not a lot of pawn shops or anything, but there's just opportunities here. Cost of living is higher, but you can make more money here. I don't know. I have a lot of connections here with people that I know, so that definitely helps. I've just kind of built like this little repertoire in Connecticut, and I really like it. It's a small state. I was just saying this to my girlfriend the other day. I'm driving on the highway, and we're going to our friend's house. We didn't know their address, so we popped it in the GPS, and I'm like, oh man, I need to get gas. I'm low on gas. So I'm like, okay, over here at exit, 23 or 24, we get off the exit, and I know if I go down, there's a Cumberland Farms, because I have my Cumbies card to save 10 cents on every gallon of gas. So I'm like, I know if we pull off here, go down there, I know where it is. And I just like knowing where everything is. Connecticut's small enough to where I know where everything is. So I pretty much know all the exits, what's off the exits, and stuff like that. So definitely helpful. And also, to drive from one end of the state to the other is what, like an hour and a half, 2 hours? Which, that's not too bad. It's not too bad to go across the state. All right. What else do we have here? The Stacy Squad says, hi there, love your channel. I just started selling on eBay, but do you have any tips on selling more than one item per month? And did you have any items when you first started that you had to keep relisting? Depends on how many items you have listed, Stacy. I mean, if you have, 30 items listed and you're selling one per month, I guess that's actually pretty bad. I mean, it's hard to say, okay? Because let me actually explain this. In my eBay store, I've had about 300 items at any give or take time. Per day, I usually sell about one item, sometimes two, sometimes three. It really depends on the day. But I'd probably say I average 1 to 2 items a day on eBay. Some days I get none, some days I get 3, right? Some days I get 10. But really, it's the quality of items, and there are so many items. I mean, out of those 300 items, I'd say 100 of them have been listed for 6 or more months. Maybe even longer, maybe 8 or more months. So Did I pick up a lot of bad things when I first started reselling? Probably. Are my things priced too high? Probably. So you know what I did? I recently went in and put best offer on every single one of my eBay listings. And I know a lot of people hate it. I didn't like it. I only did it on items that were $50 or more, $75 or more. But recently, I've loved it because I've had items that had no action, no views, no nothing, sell in the past week since I've done it. And we're talking items I've had listed for $19.99, $16.99, like cheaper items where people are offering me, let's say on a $20 item, they're offering me $17. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm fine with that. A $16 item. Somebody offered me $15 on a $16 item. This item I've had listed for over a year. Nobody cared about it. Some guy saw best offer and said, you know what? I would pay for it if it were $15. You know, and I feel like that helps when people can almost name their own price. And yeah, you're going to get a lot of lowballers. I recently just had a DVD set, brand new sealed. I'm the lowest on eBay at $25. Somebody offered me $12 and said, this is the best I can do. And you know what? I shot them back $17 because I'm like, you know what? I only paid $3 for it. I'm already the lowest, but I'm willing to get rid of it for $17 just to get it moving, get it out of there. And I didn't want to get rid of it for $12 because I really wouldn't make that much money. So I figured an extra $5, that kind of helps. And you know what? The person declined and said no way, and I'm okay with waiting. But at least people are looking at my items now, so I highly recommend throwing best offer up on every single one of your items. You can bulk edit it in the eBay settings, and it definitely helped me gain sales. I mean, I've also run auctions. You could switch all of your listings over to auction format, and it's going to cost you about 10-15 cents a listing, but you'd be surprised at how many things sell. It's insane the amount of things I've sold. And you know, I've also tried running sales, 15%, 20%, 25%, and I've noticed that this best offer thing is kind of a little bit better, because let's say I'm selling things for $20, $25 and I run a 25% off sale, I'm losing $5 to $7-ish or whatever per item, where somebody could just shoot me a best offer of $4 to $3 lower. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. If in my head, if I'm willing to run a 25% off sale in my store, then I'm willing to take best offers 25% lower and up. So I don't know. I'm always switching up different things in the store, and that's kind of been the case right now. Okay, let's see what we got. Brandon Page says he just found a load of Peter Millar Augusta National Polos, sold 3 for $110. That is amazing, Brandon. Now, I know you said you sold 3 for $110, and I hate to burst your bubble, dude, but those Peter Millar Augusta Nationals, I've sold 1 for, what was it? 1 for $89.99, so $90, and it sold within like 2 days of me listing it. I don't know why mine was on the high end, but it just was. That Peter Millar Augusta National is amazing. Maybe because it's not golf season right now, you only got 110, which is still amazing. I'm sure you only paid a couple bucks a piece. But I was selling those for, or whenever I find them, I list them, 75 and up, and they go so fast. I had best offer on it also. I also sold another. It was a Peter Millar Augusta National. I've sold 2. It was a sweater vest. It was brand new with tags, so I'll give it that. But I sold that for $150, I believe. And that one sold first day I listed it. So those Augusta Nationals can go for insane amounts of money. Ryan Madison says, a long time since doing a live stream. Dude, I know. That's why I'm doing one right now. Ryan says, how about Georgia or Cali? Never been to California. I drove through Georgia a little bit, so I've only seen it a little bit, so I don't really know. I don't like the heat that much. I live in Connecticut. I snowboard. I don't mind the cold. I actually kind of like shoveling. I like playing in the snow. My dog loves the snow. She's actually asleep right over here. I'm sure you could see her. There she is, passed out. So, and I'm sure you saw her mess that she made on the ground. She tore some stuff up. All right, let's see. True Web Deal says, I've been selling on Amazon for a little over a year now and have not collected any sales tax. Well, now I just got audited by California Department of Tax Admin. I'm really nervous about it. Yeah, dude, that is scary. That's really, really scary. Yeah, I'd be super, 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 super nervous because it's tough. It's tough if you're not 100% precise, and it's really hard to be 100% precise if you're not collecting it for all these orders. So I have thought about doing collecting sales tax on it. So I'm going to look into it and see if I can. This is stuff I'm all working on this year, so definitely, trying to make everything so it goes along a lot smoother. All right. Darren Adams says, come to San Diego, a lot of sun. Yeah, I'm sure. Rob F. Wisconsin is fun for thrifting. He's right between Chicago and Milwaukee. And I could see that because Craigslist Hunter lives over there, and he finds a lot of good stuff near Chicago. So it's definitely got to be good over there. Let's see. What up, Rita Rayner? How's it going? Ryan Maston says, can you talk more about yearly total with all platforms? Do you mind telling us what you make with eBay and Amazon combined? So it's hard to say, I mean, because, you know, before taxes, after taxes, all that stuff. All I can tell you is sales, pretty much, which I know it's hard because, you know, sometimes I'm making 300 to 500,000% on some items. Other items I'm only making 15%, right? On Amazon last year in sales, I did about 100,000. Was it 100,000, or was it like 90,000? It was somewhere between like 90 and 110,000. I really can't remember. And then merch by Amazon, I did a few thousand. YouTube, I didn't do that much. eBay, I probably did like 25 to 30,000, something like that. And that's sales. So if you want to look at it that way, I say the best way to look at it is just cut everything in half when somebody shows you their numbers. So maybe even a little bit more than half. So let's say I did 100,000 on eBay in sales, 25,000, or let's just round it up to 30 to make it easier, 30,000 on eBay, and that rounding up probably includes all my other stuff like merch by Amazon and affiliates and YouTube and all that. Cut that in half, that's 65,000, I'd say. So it's not a killing, but that's like a lot more than a lot of people make. And I mean, I do it full time, but I also do it very part time. There are some months where I put in maybe 100 hours total all month, which is crappy. I mean, I know people that put in 100 hours in, you know, 2 weeks easily, and there's weeks where I've done that. But there are some weeks where I just don't do anything, and I could easily bring that number up. I would love my profit to be, you know, well over 100,000. I'd be super comfortable. I mean, I'd love my profit to be $1 million, but you know, that's going to take time, obviously. But that's just kind of where I'm at. Those are my numbers. I'm not, you know, dude, I'm not making a lot of money, but I'm making enough to where I know what I'm doing. I could definitely teach people. And if I wanted to make more, I definitely could make more. I just don't right now. Okay. And the reason why I don't, I am a little lazy, but also I have a lot going on. I just moved. Sorry, I'm reading through these comments. I just moved, and, you know, moving and everything, that took months to get everything situated. It really did. It took a long time, so that kind of cuts out literally 2 months of me where I could have been working a lot. So, I mean, you could add another 20,000 or 30,000 onto that if I had worked my butt off those 2 months. I just didn't. So this month, it's definitely going to be a lot more. I would love my profit this month to be like 75 to 100,000. That would be great. That's 6 figures. I'm happy with that. And it might even be a lot higher. Who knows? If I decide to like hit it hard, and I could hit it hard, if I decide to work, you know, 5 days a week to 6 days a week, 8 hours a day, I don't see why I wouldn't make $250,000 a year. I really don't see it why I wouldn't. It's pretty easy to, in my opinion, but I don't put in that kind of work, like the Gary V work or whatever. If I put in that kind of work, the more work you put in, the more money you make. That's how it is. All right, let's see what we got. April says she just bought a man's necktie for 25 cents at a rummage sale and sold overnight for 30. Was it a Salvatore Ferragamo? Because that would make sense. Ryan says, I made $2K today on stocks. That's awesome. I'm pretty sure I lost money on stocks today. I also have stocks and cryptocurrencies and all that good stuff. Somebody sold Steve Buchanan sold a vintage watch for $400, paid $5. That's amazing, dude. That is really freaking good. What kind of watch, man? The Stacy Squad says, I'll try adding best offer to my listing soon. Thanks for answering my question. Yeah, no problem. AG says, what do I think of book selling? I love it. I mean, I love that you can do it. I hate it. I hate scanning books. It's just not something I do. I just don't scan books. I don't know. I've sold books. I've sold lots of books. Probably thousands. Nah, I doubt I've sold thousands. No, you know, I've probably sold thousands. I've been doing this for a few years. I used to sell a lot of books when I first started because they were easy, they were cheap, and I would literally just sit there and scan. It would take me so long to go through a rack, but I would do it. So yeah, I've probably sold thousands of books, maybe 8,000 books, maybe more. I don't really know. It's definitely a good way to make money. Ryan asks, "This is my girlfriend's house?" Yes, it is. Right, also, he's talking about taxes and stuff. Let's see. All right, the Stacy Squad says, I've just started selling, just started my eBay store with 12 listings. I've only sold 2, but I've recently started looking for more items for my store. Okay, so with 12 items, yeah, you're not going to sell them all. Not even close. If I started with 12 items and I sold 2 in the first month or something, I'd actually be very happy with that. I forgot what they say, like 10%, and you're doing really well. So if you list 10 items and you sell an item a day, you're doing like really, really, really good. It depends on what kind of items you're also looking for. I mean, if you have all vineyard vines and you're priced $5 below the going rate, yeah, they're all going to sell in a week. But if you have, like, you know, brands that everybody has, like Ralph Lauren Polo and Tommy Hilfiger and stuff, yeah, it's going to take a while. You got to find the right buyer. So that's just, you know, what happens. Oh, yeah, Better Barbie says hit the thumbs up. Yeah, definitely, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We only got, you know, 19 thumbs up with over 50 people watching, so that would be nice. Ryan Masson says, why don't you do more retail or wholesale reselling? So I do wholesale reselling. I've talked about it in a few of my videos. I buy a few things wholesale. That was going good until all of a sudden I started getting some returns. And some people saying, oh, this doesn't work, because it was an electronic. And people were saying, oh, this part doesn't work. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I thought it was okay, you know, 1, 2 people. But then like 4, 5, 6. And I was like, dude, that's a lot. That's a pretty high fail rate, because I'm getting all these. And I'm sure there's a bunch where it didn't work and people just didn't care because the rest of it worked. And they just kept the item. So I spent a lot of money, and I haven't picked up this item that was making me good money. I was paying $25 to $30 per unit, selling them for between $90 and $130. Cost me $6 to ship it, so it was great. I was making good money on it, but then that started to happen, and I had to do a bunch of refunds. So I just haven't gotten into another product in for a while. Retail, I don't really do a lot of retail arbitrage. It's not so great where I am. Not to say it's not possible, but where I am, I know I see a lot of people post, you know, my Target is doing this clearance, my Walmart is doing this clearance. Around me, they don't really do those kind of clearances, and I know a lot of you probably know the same thing. You go out to your Target, you go out to your Walmart, and their prices, you know, you see somebody got all this for this much discounted, and then yours is at 5% off or something. That's the way mine is, so I don't do a lot of it. I know there's so many other stores, and I've done, you know, retail arbitrage at so many different stores. Walgreens, Lowe's, Home Depot, GameStop, you know, random little shops and stuff. So I do retail arbitrage. I just, thrift stores are pretty good around me. Pawn shops are around me. I mean, I still find some good stuff. Locally is all right, but I just have some good connections, and I do all right. I mean, I have so many items in my backlog, you know, so many items I need to get listed. So I'm not really hurting for inventory right now. Dano says, how's merch sales going? What tier are you on? I've been on tier 500 for the longest time. Sales are slow. I was making, you know, my sales jump all over the place on Merch by Amazon. 1 week, I will make $100, $150, and the next week I'll make 5 to 10. I have no idea why or what's going on. It has to be somebody else taking my designs and just pricing $1 lower or something. It has to be. I don't know. I don't really look into it. Merch is like extra money for me. I really want to go hard at it this year, and I'm going to go hard at it, and I'm going to actually take my designs on merch and start transferring them over to other platforms. I know some people that do that on Teespring and things like that. I say I'm going to look into it. I want to see, you know, how easy it is, how fast it is, but merch is where the main money is. Arbitron99 says, hey, Thrift School, do you sell any items from grocery in your inventory? If so, what percentage? Yes, I do. Percentage is probably 0.5%, probably less than 1%. Oh, what's going on over there? Probably less than 1% is my grocery. The reason, I don't know. I don't really scan a lot of grocery, but yeah, I do sell grocery. It's probably 0.5%, maybe 1% now. But I'd say I'm mostly electronics and video games. I think video games alone account for about 70% of my sales, which is insane to think. And then audio, like CDs and stuff, probably account for 20. So I bet you video games, I know you can look up all the stats. Video games probably account for 60% because I'm pretty sure music accounts for 25% to 30%, and then everything else mixed in. So yeah, I'm kind of like heavy into 2 categories, mainly because I find a lot of I find a lot of it, guys. You see what I sell. I do sales updates and stuff, and I show you. I sell a lot of video games. I come into them all the time. I just know what I'm looking for, and I feel like if you know what you're looking for, you're going to come into it a lot. Grocery, I'd like to move up, but the thing with grocery is there's expiration dates, so it's a little tougher to send into Amazon FBA. I believe they need 6 months or something for some items, and a lot of this clearance Christmas candy expires in 3 months, right? So if it has kind of a higher rank, I don't want to buy it. If it's not going to sell, then it's going to be expired, then I'm stuck with all this candy. So grocery, I'm trying to dabble in. It's just hard to find the right products. Let's see what we have. Ryan Madison says... Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got a little bit of drama going on, and I'll address it just because I'm feeling like it today. So Ryan Madison says, Raffle, rake and profit is annoying. And Global Voodoo calls him out all the time. Dude, I'm not like stirring up any drama or anything. I watch Global Voodoo's videos all the time, and I watch Steve's videos all the time. Me and Steve Rakin are actually good friends. He lives close to me, and so I've hung out with him a bunch of times. He might come off something different on YouTube, but in real life, he's actually a down-to-earth guy. He just puts on like a YouTube kind of persona, which is totally fine. That's just the way he does it. He still has a great audience. He's actually like a really cool down-to-earth dude. I've been at his house. We've hung out. And I mean, you guys know I'm pretty down to earth. If I'm saying he's down to earth, he really is. He's genuine and honest, and he talks in his videos, you know, about he likes to market, he likes to do these things. He's honestly like people, you know, they hate on people that they don't like, that they think are trying to sell them things and this and that, but he really is actually trying to help. He does put out good videos, and same thing with Global Voodoo. He puts out good videos. I think they're entertaining. I miss when he used to do them daily because I would actually watch them daily, and I don't anymore because he doesn't put out daily videos. But I like them both. There's really not many resellers I don't like. I know there was some drama going on with like Golden Finger Picker and 10K on the Bay. I watched both of them. I like them both. I've been on 10K's channel. I've been on Rake and Profit's channel. I've been on Thrifty Tanya Treasure's channel. So I've been on a whole bunch of different channels. I know all these people. And I don't get into the drama, really. You guys never see me getting into that stuff. So, what else? Who else is he? Oh my gosh, the dude from Florida. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Casey the Rockstar Flipper. A lot of people have an opinion on him. I like him. I watch his videos. What was my job before this reselling stuff? I'm 30-ish now, right? No, I'm definitely not 30. I'm 24. I'll be 25 in July. But do I really look that old? Shit, man. That's why I'm trying to work out. I'm getting a pudgy face. I've been doing keto diet, where I'm not eating carbs and sugar, and that's going just as well as you'd think. It's not fun. I've been doing lots of cardio and stuff. I'm trying to lose, like 15 pounds or so. We'll see what happens. So what was my job before this reselling stuff? I had lots of jobs. I talked about this in a previous video, but my job right before this, I worked as a photographer at a company that actually sold on eBay and Amazon, and that's how I learned about it, and that's how I realized I could do it. Dustin Doyle says, yo man, what's up? Haven't talked to you in a while. Ryan Madison says, I can't tell who is real and who is fake because I don't resell. I just watch these people because I like business minds. Oh, that's actually really cool. Yeah, no, dude, it's tough because there are some fake people. Like, everybody's calling people out on being fake. Like, people are saying 10K's fake and Rakin's fake and these people are fake. But then they put out, like, they put out their sales and they show you that they're making money, and they actually give like valuable content. So if they're giving you any ounce of valuable content, I don't care. Even Ty Lopez, right? He gives me sometimes valuable content. He might be a little fake, but everybody's a little fake, right? Ryan says, I've been to my local Goodwill, but there's nothing compared to your Goodwill. Like, my Goodwill shelves are empty every time I go. Where should I start? Yeah, dude. And my Goodwill isn't always good. I don't show walkthroughs every day because there's days where I go to Goodwill and I find nothing, like not a single thing. I'll go to 2 or 3 Goodwills and I'll find anything. And I record my trip there on my camera. I'm like, well, this is a waste. So I just delete the videos and I don't put out a video that day, or I do a live video like this. Yeah, so where should you start? If the shelves are empty in the electronics and everything like that, try clothing, right? If you don't like selling clothing on eBay, I totally get it. Go to the audio music, go to CDs, right? Even go to VHS tapes. I've sold so many VHS tapes. Try the books. You could even try, I know Texas Gal Treasures and stuff, they do jewelry. So if you want to do eBay, you could look through the jewelry jars. You could buy a big bulk amount of them, sell them on Etsy, sell them on eBay, sell each piece individually, right? And you could still make money. There's all these different locations and thrift stores that even I forget to look. Women's clothing, I don't look. Shoes, I rarely look. Paintings, I know people, what's his name? Resell Rabbit bought paintings once from Goodwill to resell. I've seen people do that. So there's different sections in the thrift store to take a look. Dustin Doe says there's a lot of bitter people in the resale space. Yeah, there's a few. Aaron Stewart says, I've been doing this 2 weeks. My only real sale is TI-84 Plus. He bought $6, $50 instant sale. Sold 8 items, though. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, TI-84 Pluses are pretty much instant sales. Ben Bamboo says, how do you guard against inauthentic claims by Amazon? I've heard they're not even accepting some receipts now. Is this true? Yeah, I have heard about that. Yeah. That's something that you can't really, if it happens, it happens, right? So you're kind of like playing roulette. If you get a jerk that just wants to get a free item and they give you an inauthentic claim, you're screwed. I mean, that's the case with a lot of things. I mean, I'm sure that could even happen over on eBay possibly. So there's really not much you can do besides fight it. When you get one, you call up Amazon and you fight it. And you just keep calling. Call 10 times if you have to. Just keep fighting it. I know it happened to Jameson Philippi. He got one and he was able to get reinstated, but he was out for I believe for like a couple of months. Ryan Manson says he once bought a Wii U for $40 and sold it for $150 on OfferUp. Ryan, I actually have 2 Wii U's I need to sell. I know one works, the other I have to test. One I bought for myself at a pawn shop for $110 back when it was first coming out, so I'll actually make a little bit of money on it. And the other one I got for, I think it was $50 at a garage sale. So they're going for about $150 still over on eBay, $180-ish. I'd like to sell them locally. If I could sell them locally for $100 to $125 each, I would be happy. GameStop is selling them for $150 or $160, I believe. So it's definitely possible, I think, to sell them locally. I don't know who's buying Wii U's right now, though, with the Switch. We'll see. What do we got going on? JDS says, how's your 2017 on Amazon? So much lower than 2016. The numbers I gave earlier in the video were from 2016. 2017 was so much lower. I just didn't work as much. Okay, I'm saying so much lower. It wasn't that much lower. It was lower. It just wasn't like in half or 3/4. It was just lower. When you're supposed to grow, I shrunk a little bit. It was just, it just happened, but I did all right. Ryan Madison says, ThriftSchool looks familiar, like I've seen him on TV somewhere. You've probably seen me on YouTube. Sim Buchanan says, do Etsy and Printful. Yeah, those are things I definitely want to look into for sure. Aaron Stewart says, I did have another reseller grab a $150 paintball gun for $15. I was there for 3 minutes earlier. Yeah, that's the thing. And you'll notice that also. I go to thrift stores and I kind of know who all the resellers are. And if you see their car out front, you're like, oh, crap. Well, they're going to be great. I know what they go for, so let me go for the other stuff. Or let me see where they are in the store and run in front of them, right? I do that all the time, which, it's okay. You do it. Oh, wow. I thought I was looking at my computer for the comments, but on my phone. Garbage Peasant says, yo, man, keep pumping out those Goodwill sourcing vids. Love watching them. Yeah, there's going to be one tomorrow. It's not so much sourcing as just kind of like a vloggy style thing. And when I say vlog, I don't put out vlogs of just my life. It's more of, packing up my orders, showing you what sold. Oh, yep. Packing up my orders, showing what sold, and, going to Goodwill once and, oh yeah, sorry. Going to Goodwill once in the middle and then doing some other stuff. It's definitely a lot of reseller content for sure. I could answer like 2 more questions and then I gotta go, guys. I'm sorry. So let's see what we got going on. Drummer says, is it hard to get gated or get ungated in other items? So there's a lot of items, a lot of categories on Amazon that are doing auto approval. Look it up on Google, type in like Amazon approval or Amazon ungating or whatever, or category list, and you'll find it. And just start clicking on certain ones that you can't sell in, and you'll see that you're going to be able to actually sell very easily just by filling out a quick questionnaire. Grocery is one, clothing is another, shoes is one, I think luggage might be one, and then there's a few brands that you can get auto-approved in, a couple toy brands. I can't really remember what they are. There's a bunch more than what I said. There's like 30-something or 40-something that are auto-approved. Just go into it. It's going to suck. You have to answer out a questionnaire. It takes a little bit of time, but it's easy, and you'll get it done. Okay, so I could answer one more question, and I'll read through the others in case there's one more very important one, but this is going to be my last one, possibly. Random Weirdness says, thanks for answering my question earlier. Another one I got is to do with workers at your local Goodwill/pawn shop. Ever ask why you are always there buying stuff? Do you tell them you're a reseller? So my local Goodwill actually watches some of my YouTube videos, which is kind of funny because I've called them out a few times on their prices being high. So they probably see that, and I don't care. If the prices are high, I'm going to say it. But they know, some other Goodwills have to know. I've had a couple pawn shops ask me. I don't tell pawn shops I'm a reseller. I know some people do. I don't. You don't know how they're going to react. Some might say, oh, great, I have all this stuff in the back. Others might go, oh, you're a reseller? Well, they're not going to cut you the right deals, and they might start looking stuff up online, especially if they don't already look stuff up online at certain Goodwills. At certain pawn shops, you don't really want them to start doing that. So pawn shops, I tend not to. Goodwills, I don't care. I really don't care. I've told them multiple times at multiple Goodwills. Doesn't bother me at all. I scan right out in the open at Goodwills. Pawn shops, I'd be a little more stealthy. I still look things up, and if they ask why, I just tell them, oh, I'm just looking it up on Amazon. I'm just comparing prices or looking at reviews or, whatever, right? And especially if a pawn shop will have stuff priced individually, I'll be like, oh, I'm comparing prices, or looking up reviews. You could say either which one, and it works fine. All right. So I'm just reading through some of these comments. We got one guy that's kind of weird in here. Did I sell the Papa John's polo shirt? I haven't even listed it yet. Like I said, my computer's taking up my listing space. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading. Don't delete, just upload it. I want to see the junk people give to Goodwill for fun. Yeah, maybe I'll do some ride-alongs where I just show the stuff and go through the aisles. That might be cool. I love doing ride-along videos for sure. Really, I do. Okay. Okay, there's a lot, but that is pretty much what I'm going to do now. Oh, last thing, Catherine H says her Plato's Closet started following her on Instagram. Now I feel like I can't go in there. That's really funny. I love my local Plato's Closet. It's pretty cool. I do find some stuff there. But if you guys did enjoy this, remember to give a thumbs up before you go. If you have any questions after this live show, leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer them, and maybe I'll throw it into my next video. And subscribe if you haven't already. Somebody asked when I'm coming to Houston, Texas. That should be sometime this year. Probably I'll probably go back down. Not 100% sure what time, but it might happen sometime this year. So remember, subscribe if you haven't already. ThriftSchool, sign out. See ya.